Welcome back to Usapang Bayan. Kasama pa rin po natin si Fred Perdon. Fred, yung napanggit niyo ho kanina na this administration is looking for fresh talent, no, that can truly serve the cause of the people. And narinig ko rin ho sinabi ni Mayor Duterte na ayaw niya yung may nagre-rekomenda na mga congressmen, senators, na ganito, ganyan. Ano? So kung halimbawa meron tayong nagmamagandang loob na mga ating mga capable citizens, paano ho ba nila pwedeng ipaalam sa administrasyon na darating na sila ho ay handang tumulong o magsilbi sa panibagong gobyerno?
Well, I cannot talk officially about, but one thing I noticed that they're open to anybody. In fact, I've not heard of saying that it's only open for PDP Laban or it's only open. In fact, I've noticed that it's a mixture from people who used to work with the government, people who has been with the other parties. So yan ang observation ko. So there seems to be really no fixed
But how do
grouping.
how do these people let them know that they're available and things like that?
Ang observation is there are some people who are also who have worked before with Mayor Duterte who has also received some feelers application. No? Pero ang nakita ko doon is that you have to prove yourself. What can you do? I mean, you know, you have to prove that you will be able to do the expectation. Like, if you're applying for a certain position, you just make sure that you're qualified for that position, not just because you help in the campaign. So, mukhang yan ang ano dyan eh. Hindi lang sabihin mo na sumama ka sa campaign. No, parang nakita ko doon is that you prove to me what is your qualification, what can you do? Can you deliver what I'm expecting to? And then there's also what's called a certain expertise because you cannot be, jack of all trade. Parang you have to be specific. Although sabi ko, observation ko lang yan. So I think there's also a channel for that. Ang nakikita ko is that I think maganda yung sinabi niya na for all those people who wants to work with the government, we have to tell the people who are this so that people can now make some comments. So ang observation ko dyan is that they have floated some names. But of course, it's not yet final because ang narinig ko dyan, it will only be final when he assumes as president. So these things can, di ba narinig natin, will also be changing, depende. I think it's a good move because normally before, you just find out na meron na appoint, di ba? Ito na si appoint. But this time, mukhang iba eh. Na ito, consider, di ba sabi rin niya, if you have any complaints about, you tell me so that, but of course, ang pakaalam ko, he will be the one who will make the final decision, which is a good one. He makes the final decision because sabi nga niya, akong mananagot dyan. If that guy does something wrong, ako mananagot dyan.
Kayo ho ba, ano ba ang posisyon na ang gusto nyong i-apply?
Well, wala naman kaming apply because sabi ko, I've been in the government before. So we're just doing a voluntary work. Sabi namin is that let's do our share because we want him to succeed.
Right.
Yeah, I've worked with the government before. So sabi namin, let us use our experience, expertise, and we make suggestions.
So in your case, where do you think you can be most helpful?
Well, on my part, sabi ko nga is that my concern is Bicol. So we'd like really that PNR should be realized. So that's what we're doing now, especially yung sa Bicol. We're trying to get a group of stakeholders to be able to tell the new government that this is something that you have to do. This is something that you have to give priority. Because everybody in Bicol is looking forward of have that PNR. So yan ang mga ano natin.
Speaking of appointments, sir, what is your comment dun po sa statement ni Mayor Duterte na mag-a-assign po siya ng communists sa key positions ng several government agencies such as the DOLE and DNR?
Of
Mga communists.
Communists
well,
po.
tingin ko naman, I don't think so personal comments. I think, personal opinion ko lang is that they're going to consult with everybody. But it does not mean that the communists will be done. In short, it's one way of opening. So, giving them, of course, they will also have to prove that they're qualified. Not there because communist guy, I don't think so. you have to prove again that, it jibes with the overall program of the government. It may be so happen that you are identified. Pero yan ang reading ko. Hindi naman. And I think I've also heard it na yung Communist Party will not really be recommending somebody because of the, so I would say that overall, it has to jibe with the program of the new administration.
Recently po, meron din pong comment si Mayor Duterte at presumptive President-elect Rodrigo Duterte na ang Catholic Church daw po ay isang hypocritical institution. What is your opinion on that? Do you think once he is seated as the President of the Philippines, magkakaroon po ng problema between the government and the Catholic Church?
Ako sa tingin ko hindi. Because when you become a president, you now represent the whole country. And of course, you just don't consider, always think about the majority. So sa tingin ko, it's just part pa siguro yun ng campaign because we all know na iba-iba yung But having worked in the office of the president before, when you become a president, you take into consideration everything. So decisions are being made for the majority. Yan ang tingin ko dyan.
Nakilala po si Mayor Duterte sa pagiging tough-talking person niya At yung iba po nag-raise ng concerns na baka ma-compromise yung relationship natin with foreign nations because of that. Do you think magkakaroon po tayo ng problema?
I don't think so. In fact, we've noticed that, sabi nga is that in the campaign, you adapt several strategies. Di ba sa campaign? Because you're trying to also get, but when you now become the president, sabi mo iba yan, almost all the U.S., ibang foreign policy. In short, I don't think so that happens.
At saka tinawagan na raw siya ni
Right,
President Obama. Nagko-congratulate. So that's a good sign na hindi naman sirang-sira ang relationship nila ng presidente ng Pilipinas at ng Amerika.
Ang sabi nga ng iba, in politics, sa campaign, you have to develop certain strategy that makes it attractive. But, when you become president, I don't think so.
Meron hong mga apprehensions yung iba, kagaya nga ng sinabi na may mga ibang politicians dyan na nagsabi na pangdabaw ka lamang, di ba? Ano ho ba ang masasabi niyo doon? At how can you negate that image na parang yung town mayor ka lang, ganyan, na hindi ka pwedeng pang-national?
Well, tingin ko dyan is that he's just looking there about he's not really reading it, that there are certain policies in Davao that is applicable at the national level. And it doesn't mean na yung program implementation doon is the same. I think what is the most important is the policy direction. The policy direction which may differ as far as the implementation in other areas. Kasi kanya-kanya rin yan, mag-a-adjust ka. But of course, yung policy matter is something else that will have to be implemented, that will be a guide sa ano yan. In terms of strategy, it may differ in certain areas. So yan ang of course all of these are personal observation ko, being observer, and of course being in the media.
So, sir, yung mga strengths po ni presumptive President-elect Duterte ay parang nalalabas po siya sa media and sa discussions, parang puro positive and cautiously optimistic naman po yung mga experts natin at political analysts sa next administration. Sa tingin niyo po, kung merong magiging weakness ang next administration, ano po yun?
First is that I think we all know that we have elected a strong leader. And a lot of people are really looking for that. A strong leader. In fact, siguro nga ang observation is that a fearless guy na he's not, I don't think he's also expert in other areas. That's why he needs people to be around to give him advice in other areas, like perhaps in terms of economics, investment. Of course, no doubt about peace and order area yan. So I guess these are some, but I'm sure that he'll be able to find the right people to assist him in this. But one thing that has came across to a lot of people is yung strong leadership.
As of now, ho ba, meron siyang, si Mayor Duterte, ho ba, may official spokesperson?
Right now, what I'm hearing is that because of, Pete Lavinia is one of that. Even the campaign, Pete Lavinia is very active. Now, lately I heard it's Sal Panelo who has been top. But of course, we've also heard that these are all temporary. In short, habang wala pang formal. So, yan. I'm not really privy to kung sino ang official, but more or less, we were able to get some statement from these people.
Meron ho ba kayong balita tungkol sa mga plano ni Mayor Duterte na file ng kaso yung mga iba-ibang tao kung anong pinagsasasabi tungkol sa kanya during the election campaign?
None that I heard. Ang alam ko lang is that those na mayroon, it has to be to follow the course of the law. Pero yung planong, yung file ng, wala ako, I don't know. I have not heard of that. Yung just because of political. Ang alam ko nga is that is now would like to have some
Reconciliation.
Which I think that's what we need, reconciliation with opposing. Kaya ako natutuwa rin ako na, of course, si Grace po, she immediately, sabi ko, that's a good sign. And also the other. These are good signs eh.
Yes,
Seldom do you find that, di ba? Sa election na, sasabihin mo, ikaw ang panalo. Alam na natin dito, parang sabihin, dinaya ako. Dinaya ako, no? But in this case, sa bagay, the big difference, hindi mo pwede sabihin.
Sir, you mentioned that po na yung nag-concede nga yung mga political contenders ni Mayor Duterte kaagad, no, na parang natanggap na nila. What does it say about our politics today na na-accept na po natin kaagad yung defeat?
Well, I think the result of the election will not really, you don't have any choice but to accept it. Because we know that the result of the election is talagang malaki ang lamang dyan. So sa tingin ko, yan ang magandang resulta, which I guess, even yung mga kalaban mo, hindi ka, no? But I guess there are a lot of things that we've learned here also. And alam ko naman, yung iba naman talagang, of course, yung success ng yung election process natin, we all know that it was, so I think these are things that are really developing here na we've learned. So I guess these are some of the things that really have changed. Of course, I always remember yung mga sinabi ng analyst that the political landscape as far as campaign has really changed. From, a person who wants to be the president, you have to be starting for 2 years. You have to be somebody who is known. In short, you have to be in the, and then here's a guy from the province who made it. And it only took 6 months to finally able to, relate to the people. And I think these are some of the things na I also noticed na he seldom read speeches
Yes.
Yung lang, parang nag-uusap-usap lang.
Alam niyo na ho ba kung anong sasabihin niya sa kanyang inaugural speech?
Wala akong alam diyan. Ang alam ko lang short lang ang inaugural speech niya. But
Short
I
and
understand
sweet.
parang he will just nabasa ko lang to sa dyaryo, it will be short, but he will explain it, the details
I see.
sa radio or what TV interview.
Okay.
But as far as it's changing a lot, and there's a lot of changes happening now about yung style, parang ganun even the way he dressed.
Well, lahat ho tayo ay umaasa sa pagdating ng bagong administrasyon na sana ho ay gumanda ang ating takbo ng ating pamumuhay at takbo ng ating bansa, ang mahal nating Pilipinas. At nagpapasalamat tayo sa guest natin ngayong araw na to, si Mr. Fred Perdon, ang ating GNN Naga partner also. At yan po ang ating pagtatapos ng ating Usapang Bayan ngayong gabi. Marami pong salamat.
Maaari niyo po kaming i-follow sa Twitter at GNN Usapang Bayan at i-follow ang aming Facebook account. Ako po si Rach Marquez.
At ako po si George Chua. Samahan niyo po kami sa mga susunod nating talakayan dito sa Usapang Bayan. Marami pong salamat.